In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to draw this pink aesthetic sky in Procreate. You can download the color palette for this illustration, it is linked in the description. And if you enjoy drawing this with me and would like to draw more with me, please check out my Patreon where I have more step-by-step tutorials and also Procreate brushes. And now, let's start. Let's make a new canvas, A4 canvas from Procreate. And first we are going to draw the sky. Let's pick our first color here. Let's start with this one. And we'll use here the selection tool. So let's take it here. And here at the bottom let's pick rectangle and turn on color fill. We are going to select about 1/3 of the canvas, like this. And now we can tap here to finish this selection. Let's take another color now, this one. And let's do the same. So let's take the selection tool. And now we are going to select here a smaller rectangle like this. And just make sure that those two colors will be overlapping. Let's tap here to finish and take another color. Now this one. Let's take the selection tool and select rectangle like this. Maybe it's too big, but I will correct it in a moment. Let's tap here and take another color. Now this one. Selection tool. Let's select rectangle like that. Tap here to finish, and now the last color, this purple one. Let's select the rest of the canvas, so let's take the selection tool and select it like that. Let's tap here to finish, and now we're going to blend those colors together. So for this we can go to the adjustments, and we can take Gaussian blur. Swipe your pencil and screen to the blur size, and let's make this one 50%. Let's tap here to finish. I would like those colors to be a little bit more saturated, more intense. We can fix it very easily. Let's go to the adjustments, go to Hue, Saturation, Brightness, and here at the bottom I will just bring up the saturation. I'll make it 61. Let's tap here to finish. Now we can draw the bush that will be in the foreground. For this we are going to make a new layer, and we can change the color here. Let's take this one. Now let's pick the brush. Let's go here to Artistic and take Leatherwood. Let's make the brush size 16% and we are going to draw here a shape of our bush. So just go like this. It doesn't have to be anything precise now. Just mark this space with this color. Now we are going to take another color and do the same. Let's take the next color in line, this one, and just mark it here like this, on top of that other color. Again, it's nothing precise, I'm just adding this color here. Now we can take another color, next one in line, this one, and do the same. This time let's focus here more on the bottom part of the bushes. And now we can start using the smaller brush size. Let's make it 5% and draw with it here like this. This way we'll create some smaller leaves. Now let's change the color. Take the next one line, this one, and do exactly the same thing. You can go with this a little bit higher here. And in a moment we'll bring back those lighter colors too. Let's take next color first. So this one. And add it in few places. And now the darkest one, this one here. Let's focus with this at the bottom here like this. Let's just create here some darker spots. So now I have something like this, and we can go back to those lighter colors. Let's go first with this one. And add it in a few places here like this. We can go out here with that shape that we've created. And now the first color, this one. Let's add it here now on top, so we can see here some more leaves like this. This looks good now. We can always come back to this later and add some more colors if we have to. Now let's draw here the flowers. Let's make a new layer for them. And let's pick the color. We'll take this color here. And we can change the brush. Let's take Plimsoll. Let's make the brush size 6%. And start drawing flowers like this. Just the simple blobs of colors like this. It's nothing precise, nothing specific. I'm just adding the color here in few places. This will be enough. Now we can change the color. Let's take this one and add it on top of those flowers in few places, on the sides of them, maybe in the middle, and we can also add this just on its own. This is very simple and easy way to create painterly style flowers. Now let's take another color, this one, and let's add it on top of those flowers, like that. First we use the bigger size brush and then we'll make it smaller to add some more precise strokes. With this we can also create some separate flowers on the sides. So now let's make the brush size smaller, 2%. Now you can just draw a few lines here like this maybe. Not on every flower, but on few. So the flowers are finished. Now we can go back to the layer of the bush and add some more of the darker colors under the flowers. So let's go here to this layer. Let's change the color. Maybe let's take this one first. And let's go back to that other brush. So this one, leatherwood. And let's add it in a few places behind those flowers to make them pop more. Now let's take the darkest color, so this one, and do the same. Just add it here behind the flowers in a few places. I'll make this space darker, and here, like that, and maybe I'll add it just a little bit here. Okay, I'm happy with how this looks like. We can move on and start drawing more in the background. Let's start maybe with drawing some buildings here on this side. Let's make a new layer for this. And let's move this behind our bush. So here. Let's change the color. Let's take this one. And let's change the brush. Let's go here to painting. And let's take flat brush. Let's make the brush size here 12% and just draw straight lines like this. You can hold your pencil here on the screen to make this a straight line, and if you put your finger here, it will become vertical. So let's do it like this a few times. Now I'm going to add here some lighter lines, so I'll not use so much pressure. I'll go here again like this. Maybe I'll make the brush size bigger now, 22%, and add one bigger building somewhere here behind, and one more time, and now smaller size of the brush. Let's make it 5%, and again add few lines. Okay, I like how this looks, but maybe I would like to move those buildings down a little bit. So I'll just take the arrow tool and move it down here like this. Let's tap here to finish. Now we can make those buildings a little bit darker on top of them. For this, let's make a new layer. And let's tap on this layer here and set it to clipping mask. This way, whatever we're going to draw here will be visible only on this layer that is underneath it. Let's change the color here. Let's take this one. And let's change the brush. Let's go to airbrushing and take soft brush. And with the brush size 9%, we can just color the top part of those buildings like this, make them darker a little bit. Now I would like to see a little bit more of that yellow color from the sky here. So for this, I'm just going to move up that sky. I'll go to this layer here, I'll take the arrow tool, and I'll just move it up, just a little bit. And here at the bottom I have snapping turned on, and that's why I can just move it up without going outside of the canvas. Let's tap here to finish. And now we can work some more on the sky. Let's add here some stars. Let's make a new layer for this. Let's change the color. Take this one. And here I'm going to use my stamp brushes. If you're interested in them, the link to them is in the description. But if you prefer to use a free brush, I have also a stars brush here. It is linked in the description of this video. It's this one. And you can use it instead of the brush I'm going to use now. So I'm going to this one, Starry Sky Less Stars. And with the brush size 16%, I'm going to add it like this here. And now I'll make the brush size bigger, 30%, and just add it in a few places. Let's make those stars a little bit more shiny. We can do that by changing the blending mode of this layer. So let's tap here, and let's set this one to add. And now if you think this is a little bit too bright, we can turn down the opacity. I will make it 67%. Let's tap here to finish, and we'll draw the moon on a separate layer. So let's make the layer. And here I will use my stamp brush tool, moon field. And if you don't have it, you can just hand draw this moon. I'll take the size 9 and I will just stamp it here. I want this moon to glow, and here we can add the glow by going to adjustments and then bloom. Let's swipe the pencil and screen to add the bloom size. Let's make it 70%, and here at the bottom we can change the other settings. And my settings will be like this: main slide 70%, transition max, size 31 and burn 65%. Let's tap here to finish. And now in the end we can still draw some power lines and birds sitting on them. Let's make a new layer for this. Let's change the color. Let's take this one. And let's pick the brush. Let's go here to inking. And take technical pen. With the brush size 13%, let's draw an arc across the screen like this. You can hold your pencil on the screen to make this a nice arc. If you want to, you can use here this option. And then just edit your arc. You can move it if you want to. And when you like the position and the look of this arc, just tap with your finger on the screen. Let's add a few more lines like this. And now I'm going to add lines going in the other direction, like this. Just two this way. When you have your lines ready, we can draw some birds here. Let's make a new layer for them. We can use the same brush that we have now. Let's make it bigger now. 62%, and draw simple shapes of the birds like this. Draw a dot, and then kind of like a teardrop shape here like this. Let's draw a shape like this a few times. And the last one here. And now this illustration is finished. If you enjoyed this tutorial and would like to draw more of me, don't forget to check out my Patreon. Also, if you can, please share drawing on Instagram and tag me in it, I would love to see it. And now in the end, I have a special shout out to my big fan supporters. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video, bye!